Hi, everybody. It is Taylor, the Taylor Manning. I'm excited to be here. I'm so excited to share this with you. I am going to share this out, so give me a second just to share it. I have my computer right here. Share to a group. Okay, so here's the deal. I wanted to share with you guys why I do what I do. How did I become a business coach? Why do I choose to be a business coach? I need to remember to look over here because my camera is over here, not over here. Hey, Hendra, I see your name pop up. I'm happy you're here. And I'm sharing this for a couple of reasons. First of all, I've actually gotten an Instagram DM from somebody I went to college with. I always get asked this by service providers because some of you may know I was a service provider turned coach. Anybody else here? Hey, Andrea. So they love to ask, like, why did you become a coach instead of a service provider? Do you think I could be successful as a service provider? How do I know if I should be a coach? I think this will be really interesting for you guys too, right? Because, you know, I hit 6 figures in this business at 20 years old, so only 3-ish years ago. And I think that's interesting. And I think my story is interesting. And I think what's interesting about it is that so many people can relate to it, right? So I've met so many amazing people that started their business really young, started their business in school, started off doing services and wanted to transition. And I've also met people too that like, they want to be a coach, but not a business coach. Is that possible, right? Is the business coach the easy way out? Is it the easy way to make the money? Is that why I do it? Hi, Sanita. Hopefully I said your name right, but I think it's beautiful regardless. So anyway, yeah, I want to share it. And plus, not gonna lie, it's a little bit of homework from mentors, so. But truly, people have asked me this, and it's been a long time since I've just like sat down and just shared the story. Hey, Demi. Oh, Demi, I love you. I love seeing you online. So, I think you're awesome. So, here's the deal. Here's the story, okay? And if you guys have like questions or you want me to go deeper into something or something confuses you or curious, like ask, okay? I want to be an open book. I want to answer any of your questions, and like, I really don't want this just to be me like doing like why I do what I do. I want it to be like you guys really actually getting something from it and learning and also getting to know me. So here's the story. It starts in college, right? So I ended up going to school and to college for journalism. And when I first got started, I started seeing all of these upperclassmen. I only had to go to school for 2 years because I graduated with a 2-year degree in high school because I was always an overachiever. But I started seeing all these upperclassmen in that major talk about how they were double majoring, right? Journalism and advertising. And so lucky for us, our school made it so to get an advertising degree was only a couple extra classes, like I think 3 extra classes. It was insane. So I was like, okay, I'll do that. I had no interest in marketing, advertising, or business, okay? My dream job, what I was going to school for, what I was working hard for, what I had dreamed about for years at that point was to be a news anchor, okay? Which I think is hilarious. I don't know why that was my dream job anymore looking back, but I wanted to be the person that dressed up pretty every day and read a teleprompter, okay? That was it, okay? Even when I was in school, I was like, you know what's so funny about me, what I do now and me going to school for journalism is my worst class growing up, guys, was always English and was always writing. I hated writing essays. I hated writing the poetry or the stories or any of that because every time I did, like I would get like the worst grade on it. I would always get grammar marked off, spelling marked off. If any of you have read my post, you've probably read 10 typos, right? So that was always my worst thing, but I knew I wanted to be the news anchor, so I went for journalism. I remember writing like journalism articles being like, I suck at this and this is not what I want to do. So I find it funny, but also, okay, so keep a note. I picked up the advertising degree, okay? Thank God, because that's where I started learning things. So a couple of our tasks we had to do was we did a project where we had to create a social media campaign for a company. We did a project where we had to build our own personal portfolio website. We went through a class where we learned how to do Photoshop. We went through a class where we learned how to do Adobe InDesign, which is where you can do like posters and brochures and stuff like that. Now, guys, keep in mind, I want you to know, that is not why I've been successful in this, because I literally don't know how to use Photoshop anymore or InDesign or barely how to edit a website, but that's how I got started. And then as soon as I realized I could do something that was more like what I wanted to do, I ran so far away from that, and I don't know how to do any of it anymore. But here's the other thing that happened is I learned the word freelancing, okay? And I had no clue what that was. I had never, ever heard of it. And I learned about it, and I was like, yup, that's what I want to do. I want to work for myself. I want to just find some easy gigs that I can do with these skills I'm learning, and I'm good. And this was not big picture. It wasn't like, oh my God, this is my dream, right? It was just like, at this point in school, I really wanted to find a way to make money without having a strict schedule, right? Because I had other priorities going on, other obligations. So that's what I did, okay? I want to forget about design too. Yeah, Hendra, you totally relate to this because you've been in the service industry too, right? Like the VA work and freelancing and stuff like that. So you totally get this. But have you guys ever heard of Upwork? So I created a profile on Upwork. I got my first client that day. Whoop, whoop. And here's the funny part. I want to say I was so dumb. I was so naive at the time. I don't know how, I was dumb, okay, at the time. I got my first client, and then I actually charged that client less than minimum wage, okay? I charged that client $7 an hour. And in Florida at the time, where minimum wage is always just lower than anywhere else, I feel like, it was, I think $7.97. It had just got raised to $7.97 an hour. I told some people, oh my God, you're not gonna believe it. Like, I'm a freelancer. I got my first freelance client. I'm amazing. Can you believe it? Oh my God, right? And they're like, are you an idiot? Like, you're not even charging minimum wage, Taylor, and you're gonna have to pay taxes, and now you're your own boss, like all this stuff. And I'm like, you're right. So I messaged that client back that day, and I tell him, I'm so excited to work with you. You know, I'm just so excited, and I'm really sorry about this, but I sounded so dumb. I just realized that I am charging less than minimum wage, and I need you to pay me at least $7.97 an hour. Okay? That was my first day at the job, aka my first time running a business, and that was my first day where I had to tell a client, you need to pay me more. And luckily he was really cool about it, okay? Yeah, and Hendra goes, I charge $15 an hour. Yeah, so started from the bottom, now we're here, right? Like, I just want you guys to see where I started. But then from there, like, I started using the skills I learned in school, and also using things that I knew I could figure out, right? Like, here I was, turning 19 years old in college. I could do social media, right? That's what that first job was. I was taking posts that this guy was writing, or whoever on his team was writing, and I was posting them on social media, okay? And then I learned about Hootsuite, which I don't ever hear about anymore, but that is a social media scheduler. And then I learned about Buffer. And then I learned about Meet Edgar. Those are all social media schedulers. And then I learned about WordPress and how to upload blogs for clients in WordPress. And then I learned about MailChimp and how to send emails to people's lists for MailChimp. And I just started expanding my skills, okay? Yeah, so then let's fast forward, right? Because, like, that's it, okay? Actually, let me tell you this, though. I graduated from college. I threw away my dream to be a journalist. I realized, okay, because I started seeing the year above me graduate and realize they weren't getting jobs, okay? They were getting jobs at these news companies, but basically becoming the coffee boy or the coffee girl. And some of them weren't getting jobs at all. Some of them were getting just these crappy jobs. Some of them were back working just, I mean, it just sucks. Like, I don't mean this in a bad way, but it sucks that working at retail, fast food, restaurants, bartending, like, that nobody goes to college to graduate and do that. So that's when it really clicked that although I was so grateful for college and I was so grateful to learn those skills, and I was grateful that I already had some money coming in and like a business, even though I was not even making $2,000 at the time a month, I was grateful for that, right? And it just clicked, like, I'm not even gonna try. So I graduated college, didn't fill out a single job application, Also, side note, at the same time decided that I was gonna move in with Frankie, who lived across the country, is like 15 years older than me, who my parents totally did not approve of. Oops, it worked out, so whatever. But I literally didn't tell anybody, right? Because I knew nobody would approve of that. So I didn't tell anybody I didn't apply for a job. I didn't tell anybody what my plan was, and I did not tell anybody I was gonna move across the country. And I walked across the stage, had dinner with my dad, my brother, and my sister, the only people in my family that came to my graduation, gave them a hug and said I'd see them in a couple of days, moved across the country, and just decided like this had to be it, right? Like this is what I was gonna do. And my backup plan was if all else fails, when I get there, I'll work at Target or I'll work at Starbucks, like classy, always keeping it classy. And maybe I can get a job in a marketing company. Because at this point, guys, like I loved marketing. Are you guys liking this? Like, nobody's commenting. What are you guys thinking? I know I'm just like storytelling. I hope I have a good storytelling voice. But tell me if this is like interesting for you. Put a 1 in the chat if it's interesting. So, yeah, moved here and things started going well, right? Like I was starting to make a little bit more money and a little bit of momentum, not much. Some months would dip back down, but like I was good, right? Like I was doing good. Okay, good, Demi, yay, thank you. Here's what started happening, okay? Andrea, my backup plan is totally go work at Tractor Supply Company. I love that backup plan, right? Like, I think we all just need to decide our backup plan and like what store it's gonna be. Like what store can we just be okay with, okay? To work at or whatever, restaurant or whatever. Oh, that's so funny, Hendra. That's probably why we just resonate so much with each other. So, I started finding out that you could do more premium services, okay? And here's the thing. I first went into web design. I suck at any type of design, okay? Yeah, Demi, I agree with that too. I agree with that too. But I would pick Target over Walmart to work at, I think. Like I think about these things, okay? I started realizing that some services could be more premium. I tried web design. I suck at design, guys, okay? I just do. I'm not artistic. I'm not crafty. My art is my writing, even though teachers think it's bad. Whatever. So then guess what I found? Just guess. I learned Facebook ads, okay? I fell into the Facebook ad world and I really, really liked it at first. So I was like, okay, this is easy. It's tech. I have a very techie brain. Like I can figure out any program pretty easily. It just feels kind of common sense to me. Like I can pick up a camera I've never used and figure it out. I can go onto a website, a techie website I've never used and figure it out, right? Like I can figure stuff out. So that was good. And it also combined my skill of loving to write. And I started selling Facebook ads, $2,000 a month. Okay. I actually think it started at $1,000 a month. And then I went up to $1,250 and then $1,500 and then maybe $1,800 and then $2,000. So guys, that honestly, I'm just going to say it. That's how I run my entire business. I have had clients do very big quantum leaps in their pricing, but up until charging $10,000, I took the baby steps, okay? Even in freelance, I did $7.97 an hour. Then I went to 10, 12, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, like literally all the way up to $300 an hour, okay? But anyway, with Facebook ads, I did the same thing. And here's actually what happened. I haven't shared this in a long time. It feels even weird to share. Do you guys know Kimmer Luna with Freedom Hackers? I don't know if you guys would know her. A lot of people in my audience used to, but I came across her Facebook group, Freedom Hackers. It was one of the very first Facebook groups I ever even knew existed, found, whatever. And she put out, I remember I was taking a bath, okay, and I remember I saw that she was looking for an assistant and somebody that knew Facebook ads and somebody that knew all these little things, right? Yeah, exactly. And she was a huge deal to me at the time, and obviously she still is. I think she's a badass, but like at the time, it felt kind of like a joke. And I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna at least try. And that was my attitude my whole business too, guys. So if you're trying to get any like tidbits from this, it was always, I'm gonna at least try. I'm gonna just at least try to get more than minimum wage. I'm gonna at least try to raise my rate. I'm gonna at least try to sell this service. Like, I did a lot of things that I didn't know if they were gonna go well, and thank God. So I did that with her. I filled out this Google form or whatever she was using, something very simple, She said you would hear back in X amount of days or weeks. Didn't hear back. Weeks later, I hear back. I get hired. I start running all over Facebook ads. We go through $1 million launch. It was so mind-blowing. It was such a big opportunity for me. Started talking about that a little bit. Like, she shouted me out one time. Started getting even bigger Facebook ads. I started working with a client where we were doing, you know, 6-figure launches, right? 6-figure months with Facebook ads and all this stuff, and just really, really cool stuff. And I still had the freelance clients as well. So I had some clients that were, so crazy, right, guys? I was still charging for freelance clients like $15 an hour, $20 an hour, $50 an hour. And those clients started wanting phone calls with me, okay? So I started doing phone calls with them. I started doing phone calls with the Facebook ad people. I started talking to my Facebook ad clients about sales funnels. I started talking to my website client about Facebook. I started, like, do you see? And I would be doing work in one area for them, but talking to them on the phone about others. And a couple things happened. First of all, I started getting really fed up with it, to be honest. And I was like, especially the clients, and this is not their fault. Like, looking back, I'm like, Taylor, that was your own fault, okay? I remember one client, she was paying me $20 an hour. It was so hard to even get her to pay me $20 an hour. And she wanted to do a quick call one night. It's probably like 5 o'clock at night. And I was logging off, had Skype on my computer, and she says, she says, Taylor, I need to talk to you really, really quick, just a quick call, right? And I'm like, well, you know, I'm wrapping up for the day, like maybe we can chat tomorrow. And she goes, no, it's just gonna be a few minutes, like please, please, please. Okay, get on Skype with her. 2 hours later, we're saying goodbye. Okay, I was so mad. And that was the time where I was like, I am so freaking done with this. Like, I am never doing a free call again. I am never letting a client do that to me again. And here's the thing is, like, she is such a nice woman. I haven't talked to her in a long time, but she was so nice. Like, it was my own fault. But I needed that to happen, and I needed to let myself get pissed off about it to make a change, okay? And that's about when I decided I'm gonna sell my phone calls. I didn't even know that coaching was really a thing. Like, I saw a few coaches, and I definitely didn't think I was a coach, but I was like, I'm gonna start selling strategy calls. I'm gonna be a strategist. Like, I'm gonna go into that. And I did, right? And trying to think of the timeline here. I didn't start selling it probably for a few months. I started following some coaches a little bit closer. And finally, oh my God. Okay, I'm just gonna share this. I feel like I don't want this to be too long, but I'm gonna share it because it was a very big piece of my journey that is very ironic, okay? I have this coach, okay, Lauren Joyce. She's not a business coach anymore, but she was at the time, and she was always about feminine energy, ease, fun, joy, right? All things that I was not having and really was craving. And 5K months was her big thing, okay? Like 5K months, 5K months, 5K months. I'm like, yes, sign me up. So I sent her an email, and I say, or actually, no, hold on. I'm on her email list because she was doing challenges like every month. At least what I remember was like she was always doing challenges, and I loved them. And I got an email from her one day that had a typo, okay? And you guys that know me even slightly know that I'm the typo queen, okay? And that now I have a post I put out like every month in these Facebook groups about why I love typos in my content. So I respond to her email and say, hey, Lauren, I just wanted to let you know you have a typo in your email. And I would love to help you schedule your emails out so this doesn't happen in the future. Do not do that, guys, okay? Thankfully, she knew how to turn it right back around because she goes, Taylor, thank you so much for letting me know that. Actually, I really love seeing you on Periscope. That's what she was live streaming on back in the day, on my challenges and all of that. I'd love to hop on the phone with you. Dun, 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 okay? I signed up with her. I signed a $5,000 contract for, I think, 4 months. It was terrifying. It was my very first credit card. I applied for the credit card on the phone with her. And it was just what exactly was meant to happen. It wasn't what I planned to happen, but it happened. And I signed up with her and started coaching, okay? 3 months later, signed my first coaching client, finally, for a 4-month, $3,000 package. I signed 3 of those in the course of 7 months. And that was it. I was still holding on to some of the freelance work, right? Of course, because I was too scared to give it up. But yeah, that's what I did. And okay, I want to read this comment. I feel called to read this comment and I'll tell you more. Jessica, it's not letting me press more. I want to see if I can see it on here. Okay, I can see it on here. I had a VA client like that. They wanted to pay me a monthly rate and gave me enough tasks to fill up a 40-hour week. It worked out to like $2 an hour, and they got mad when I told them I needed more money if they wanted that much work done. Well, good for you, because that is insane, and you could not keep that up, right? Okay, I'm gonna take a sip of water, and then I'm gonna tell you my coaching journey. So, in the beginning, for any of you new coaches, especially like if you're not a business coach and you're not interested in business marketing, any of that, I think you'll take something different from this, but I really resonate too with people that love strategy or love social media or love marketing, but they're not a business expert, right? Like I don't know, you're not really born a business expert, right? Like it took me a little while to feel like I could say that, and I still wouldn't consider myself a business expert. Like my skill set is actually a lot smaller than that, but I started off with a tagline. Do you guys want to know my first coaching tagline? Anybody? Would you find that interesting? Because it's really interesting and funny. My first tagline I created was helping you, actually it was genius, helping you turn your offline expertise into an online business. And then what my program included was like tech help, social media help, things like that. It was not, let me help you make sales, let me help you make more money. It was like, let me take your business or your corporate job that you're really, really great at and help you start creating a brand and help you start getting on social media and help you get your MailChimp set up and help you start learning how to promote a freebie. And like, it was all that beginner stuff. And I was selling that for $3,000 for 4 months, okay? And again, I only signed 3 of those clients in 7 months. So obviously I was not the sales expert here, okay? But then I had this really, really cool week where I hadn't talked to my dad, like really talked to him and like really had a good relationship since I had moved here. So it was a whole year later. And my dad tells me that he's coming to town. He's coming across the country to see me. And I was so scared and so freaked out, but he did. We had a really, really great time. We last minute decided to go to New York City together. We're on the train back from New York City and it hits me. I need to create a program that feels easy to sell, okay? Because getting $3,000 back then was a huge deal to me, okay? So I had to create a program that was easy for me to sell, fun for me to sell, exciting. I actually felt like the expert, okay? And it's like all coming to me. It was 6 weeks. It was called Strategy and Sales, and it was $1,200. So I got a phone call. I'm like, Anyway, 6 weeks, strategy and sales, $1,200. I listed out the 6 weeks of what we could talk about, like really good topics that I was an expert on, things I had helped my clients do. The price felt like a no-brainer. The length felt like a no-brainer. And I sold it out like that week, okay? To like 5 clients and then a couple more the next week. Since then, besides the last year where I've like only kept 3 to 4 clients at a time, but at that point, like for the rest of my business, I had been overbooked, okay? Like one-on-one was the easiest thing to sell. I made that program go $1,200, $1,500, $1,800, $2,000, $2,200, $2,500, and I think after that, after it was $2,800, I just put it up to $5K. So like, I still did that same strategy, to be honest. And I promoted that for 10 straight months. I kept it overbooked for 10 months. At one point, I had 12 clients in that program. Not a good idea, but I'm just saying it sold. No matter what price point, it just kept selling and selling and selling. And then I went to 4 months for 10K, and then I went to 4 months for 20K. So that's when I started making the big jumps. But here, like, I want to do a live stream on this. You must, like, it is a requirement to feel like an expert. And I know that's probably going to make all of us like sink down because none of us do. I feel like a fraud all the time. I feel like, oh my God, if somebody knew this, like maybe they think I wasn't actually good at what I do. Or like if a client's having a bad time, it's like, oh my God, maybe I'm not as good of a coach as I think. Like it happens all the time. Okay. But I have a track record now. Like I just know, obviously you're worthy because you're a human. Like I totally believe that. But sometimes that's not enough to sign the big clients. Like you have to know, I am an expert at this because I have this experience. I have all these client testimonials. I've done all these results for myself. And if you're trying to sell something that you're not actually good at, or you don't feel that great at, that's your problem. Okay? So that's just why I think like you got to find that thing right now. It might not be the big vision. Like one day I want to be coaching huge companies, right? Like multi-billion-dollar companies. And I want to be an investor in companies. And I want to like my business mentor vision is so much bigger than what I'm doing right now. Okay. Love my clients, love the work that we do. And I love all of that truly. And I love these clients and this niche and this audience more than I've loved anything else. And this is what I feel like more of an expert at than anything else. But like 3 years ago, definitely wasn't, you know? So that's just like a little tidbit for those of you in the business world that maybe can resonate with what I went through and that how I worked my way up. I don't think working your way up is a requirement, but I think sometimes we get so stubborn about doing it when it could really just benefit us a lot. Okay? My little spiel that I want to do a whole nother live stream on soon. Jessica, it's the worst, especially when it's one of the first few clients because you want to work. Yeah, I totally get that. He legit had me sit in and talk strategy with his high-end clients, but when I was like, hourly rate is my 9 to 5, is close to 100, but you're paying me 10 an hour. Whatever, Andrea, right? Peace out. Yeah. So here we are, guys. Any questions? Here we are. This is what I do now, right? So what do I do now? Most of my clients come to me already doing 10K sales months, right? I talk to people like that every single day. They're already doing 10K sales months. Some of them are doing 10K cash months. And here's what they want to do. They want an actual business model. They want to raise their rates. They want to fill their programs. They want to have like a business model, like actually know what they're doing. And the other thing that they really need is they need to run their business intuitively, right? So I think what I do really different now, that the only reason I do it this way is because I've just learned, is we do it intuitively. Like if it doesn't feel good, we don't do it. If it doesn't feel right, we don't do it. If you're not 110% behind it, we don't do it. And I'm never going to give you the blueprint that another client is using. I'm never going to give you the blueprint that I am using, okay? And I've bought a lot of expensive blueprints and they don't work, okay? And if you look at all these like big names, like whether you count me in that or Marie Forleo or Tony Robbins, like if you think about maybe 5 really, really, really successful people, okay, that you aspire to be like, I could put money on it that their business models are all totally different and their story and the way they got to where they're at is totally different. That's because we're all on our own journey and it's just meant to be so unique. And I don't know why, but it's just the truth, okay? And, you know, when I transitioned from freelancing to coaching, it was because I was really annoyed. The other reason that I just kind of skipped over because I got on a little spiel with that is it was also because I could see how the clients were getting great work from me. Their Facebook ads were converting, sales funnel not selling. Who's been there, right? Content, like calls were being booked from the content, calls weren't being closed on the phone, right? Hi, Kenzie. Oh, I saw you pop on here. I miss you too. Thank you. So I started seeing that happen. I'm like, man, if I could just coach them, if I could just like tell them everything and then they can outsource it. Because that's the other thing I realized with Facebook ads. Guys, the Facebook ad process that like people pay thousands of dollars a month for is clicking buttons. Okay, like just gonna put it out. I keep looking this way. It's just clicking buttons. You need the strategy. Just because somebody knows how to run a Facebook ad does not mean they're good at it. It does not mean it's gonna work for your business, okay? You need, like, I mean, I'm just gonna say it this way. I think you can trust what you need, but like, outside looking in, you need somebody who's helping you, guiding you to create a unique, intuitive strategy that is strategic for your business, okay? And if you're doing something just like someone else and it's not working, it's because you're doing it just like someone else. That's what I'm really, really passionate about. Like I love how you built this up. So many people think it has to happen in like half a second. Yeah, guys. I mean, I'm in my 3rd year of coaching, and I think I've just done so much amazing stuff. And I know I've moved a lot faster than a lot of my peers, people I've been surrounded by this time. But at the same time, like, it's, you know what's funny, Demi, is like, I feel like I took baby steps that a lot of people were like, I'm not taking baby steps because I can create whatever I want, like that kind of thing. And I think sometimes that like whole manifestation, which I also believe in more than anything else, more than strategy, but I just think sometimes we get kind of stubborn and it holds us back. Because I took baby steps that like my friends were not willing to take. I took the baby steps that my coach said, you don't need to take the baby step, like just jump. But I moved really quickly. Who knows? Maybe I could have moved faster the other way, but I trusted myself and like I know it's what I was meant to do. And I mean, looking back, I'm like, damn, I've accomplished a lot. But there were times where it felt definitely like baby steps. Like, okay, I've taken 8 clients at 1,200. Now let's go to 15. You know? And I don't think that's the way it has to be. I'm just saying, check in with yourself. Why are you taking the actions you're taking? And when you just like, here's what I'm teaching in Break Free, right? When you just like let go of all of that, okay? When you let go of all the things you've committed to, all the fears, all the doubts, all the things that every other coach has taught you, like, what does your gut say is gonna be the easy thing to do? What does your gut say is the next step? That sounds so gross. What does your gut say? But you know what I mean? So like, that's what I did. I let it, oh God, this is gonna be a whole other topic. I let it be easy by taking the easy way. I took the baby steps. I did what I was ready to do. And then when I was ready to quantum leap and double the rate or whatever the rate or the income, like I did that too, you know? But that wasn't the thing I was making myself do all the time. Yeah, it's really interesting to share that story, right? So, I think that's it. Any questions? I'm gonna hop off here if you guys don't have any questions, so let me know. Hendra, I'm getting the hints to go fully source inspired with my biz. Yeah. I mean, you know, to be really honest, we just snuck someone into Break Free, right? It's been closed, so message me. I'm just kidding. But we just let somebody into Break Free because she's worked with me before. I know her. I know what she's capable of. Like, it's the perfect thing for her, so why not? Like, I have to, okay? So she just snuck in. And we were having just a conversation about how it's so interesting how people are always going one extreme or the other. I feel like they're full intuitive flow and ease and manifestation, or their strategy, you know, and neither work. Like, neither work without the other. You have to have both. I wish I could remember to look at this camera. I don't know what my gut says. What else could you do? Okay, Laura, you're gonna hate me probably, but here's the truth is, you probably said like, I don't know your whole entire life, right? Like, you probably had somebody tell you like, you don't know, like, I'm the boss, you don't know. Me too. So I didn't know either. And my answer to everything, what do you want to eat? What do you want to do today? Where do you want to go? What do you want to do for a workout? What time do you want to wake up? What's the next move in your, I don't know. Right? That's such an interesting pattern. It's such a common pattern. Here's the actual truth of life is you always, always, always know. And so even though here's a question a coach asked me one time that really pissed me off. And the first couple times she asked me, I was like, okay, I'm done. Like, I told you I don't know. I really don't know. Don't ask me again. Like, that was me internally, right? But she said, okay, Taylor, if you did know, what would you do? If you did know what you wanted, what would you want? If you did know the next step, what would you do? And it pissed me off the first 2 times, but it actually came to me. And here's why. Because you know how I said, like, if you were to let go of all the commitment, all the things you've learned, what would you do? Here's why that we say, I don't know. And it really feels like we don't. It's because we learned so much. Like, you probably love learning too. We learned so much from all these coaches. And we're so used to just having someone tell us the right way. Mom, dad, society, right? So we're like, maybe it's not mom, dad, and society right now. You probably have them too, but you also have this badass coach and that badass coach and this badass coach and that one, right? And this strategy girl and this VA that's really smart too, all telling you answers. And you're like, I don't know. Someone just like tell me, right? You have to just like get rid of all of that and realize, because here's the other thing is you're probably afraid of making, we all are, right? Like we're all taught like you can't make the wrong mistake. You're going to waste time. You're going to screw up your life. You're going to make a big mistake. It's going to be really, really bad. You just can't, right? So if you know 5,500 strategies, like just start with one. That is something that holds people back for years and years and years. And the only thing that will ever let you get over it is just decide, okay? And when I make clients do in that situation is, first of all, we're not getting back on the phone until you do the work. Second of all, I want you to just pick something right now. And I want you to commit to it for the next month. Okay? Like that's what you have to do. Yeah, Sherry, totally. That was totally me. Right? And I love following people. Like I am one of those, I always hear like my peers or my friends or whatever that are like kind of at the same level. I hate that, but at the same level as me. And they're like, I don't follow anyone anymore. Like I don't follow content. I don't sign up for freebies. I don't watch Instagram stories. I love content. I love learning still. So, once you get practice, you'll be good at it, but you probably need to take a detox too, right? Like I was just getting so much content and so stuck in I don't know and so not sure just who to follow. Okay. Yeah. You can see I could go on and on about that. Yeah, Demi, I also had the I don't know pattern. That is so interesting, right? I'm so glad you shared that, Demi, because I feel like you just seem a lot more confident with that now, right? Like, and I think I seem a lot more confident with that now too, but it still comes up, right? And you have to be like, no, I know. Yeah. You know, I don't know if you guys know Genevieve Rackham, but she's been a client of mine and she's a really good friend and she's also someone I personally look up to, and she does a lot of, you should just search her, she does a lot of money, mindset, manifestation, law of attraction, just awesome content. That's just how I would sum it up if I had to. And she did a live stream on this about the I don't know thing, and I forget what she said, but the thing that I at least remember and the way that I took it was, yeah, remove it from your vocabulary. Like, you do know. Okay, I could do a whole live stream on that, but Demi, I'll say I don't know, and then I'll go, no, I do know, and my boyfriend's looking at me like I've lost it. Yeah, I get that. I've been there. Like, you're so aware, like you're having conversations with yourself, right? Cool. Awesome. Okay, guys, well, love you guys. Thank you for being here. I don't know if I can support you any way, like just message me, okay? I don't feel like pitching anything or whatever, but I would love to if you guys would just reach out if you need something. I've got freebies like up the wazoo. I've got courses, I've got coaching, I've got friendship, whatever. Okay? Did you ever have doubts or fears about what old friends and family thought about you when you started the excuse me, old doubts and fears? Jessica, I'm like, I've been working on that forever. I still have doubts and fears, right? Like, I'm supposed to be doing this live stream on my personal page. I'm just going to share it on there and hope nobody watches it, right? And we've already had somebody from my high school pop on, somebody from my college pop on, my sister popped on. Gracie, are you still on here? I'm not actually afraid of what Gracie thinks, but, oh yeah, that's so scary, right? Putting yourself out there is like so scary, right? And like what we do, writing content and doing video and doing live streams, like I don't think it gets much scarier than that. And my sister is running her business too. I don't know if she's on here, but like she does live streams. That's her business, right? She's doing live shows and she's selling products. And sometimes that stresses her out and scares her. And I want to be like, just do it. But at the same time too, I'm like, yeah, you have the hardest job in the world. Like that's terrifying. You know, it truly, truly is. And this is such a great question too, because you know what I really love about service-based entrepreneurs and working with coaches, because I know coaches sometimes in the coaching industry, we're kind of building this like bad name for ourselves and this icky feeling, right? I love it because I love marketing. I love writing. I love content. And what I love about being able to do that with the clients I have, what's more fun about doing it for them than a landscaping company or a wooden cabinet company or things like that, right? Some type of product. It's because you're selling yourself. Like you're putting your whole heart and soul, your passion, your personality, like you're putting yourself out there, like naked essentially, right? Like emotionally naked. And that's terrifying. So that's like why I love the clients that I work with, right? Because it doesn't matter like how well they're doing or how much they're making. And this is what I get support on too from my own mentors. It's still so scary. Like I did not want to even do this live stream. I don't know why, but I got really, really nervous. I was like, ugh. And you know what I was nervous about? People aren't gonna think it's that interesting. People aren't gonna think it's that cool. It's gonna seem kind of forced. It's also gonna seem kind of braggy. I don't want my like family to see it. You know? Glad to hear I'm not alone. I know it's a mindset thing. I always feel so scared that what I'm pursuing now is so different than what I went to school for. Yeah, totally. You know what it is, guys? You just have to do it. And there's been a few times where I'm like, I'm so scared to share this. Like, I don't want someone in my family to see it. Like, I'm just so scared. And the biggest action I had to take was just post it public on the profile. Okay? I'm not saying promote on your profile or run your business there. I'm just saying I put some really scary stuff out there, and it was just to get out of it, you know? You guys are making me thirsty. Okay. It's awkward for me on live stream sometimes when people pop on. Yeah, you're like, I'm gonna pretend I didn't see you. How do you stay so high vibe on all your lives? Love what you talk about. I did not, like, I'm just being honest. I did not want to get on here. And here's the other thing about energy, right? I told myself, well, Taylor, you don't want to get on there. So like you shouldn't, because you're not going to be high vibe enough. You're not going to have the right energy. Nobody's going to get on there. And I wrote on the Post-it note what I wanted to talk about. And I made sure I infused some things that I really like talking about. I also knew I had to do it and wanted to do it. And so I just got on and did it, you know? Like I really did not want to. And I didn't do anything to get high vibe first. But I didn't get on here and talk about something that other people really, I mean, kind of, this is homework in a way for the mastermind I'm in. But I changed, like the homework is, why do you do what you do? I changed it to be something a little bit more fun for me and my own spin. And I still didn't really want to do it, but I did it. And like, I feel really good. And I feel exhausted after live streams. But I also feel like really good after live streams. Like I'm like, that was good. And some of you guys, like live stream might just not be your thing. But I would challenge yourself to do it very consistently for a while. And I did live streams every day for probably a whole year, basically. And I, obviously not holidays, not weekends, not days I just didn't feel super great, but basically every single day for like a whole year. And it just showed me that like sometimes you don't feel like it, but as long as you're putting yourself out there in a way that you do get passionate about, it'll be good. You know the quote about working out? Like, you'll never regret a Monday morning workout. I think you could just say like, you'll never regret a workout, right? But I've heard that one too. You'll never regret a Monday morning workout. Most of us, I'm sure you could get in the energy of loving working out Monday mornings. Like I'm sure some people actually do. Most of us are gonna wake up on Monday morning and think, actually this was me this morning and Monday morning, I think, Tuesday morning. But you're gonna think like, maybe I should just sleep. Maybe my body doesn't, I did this today. I was like, maybe I should just sleep. My body feels like it wants more rest. Like, and I didn't go, I skipped. I skipped yesterday and today, okay? I really wish I didn't though. I really, really do. Like I regret skipping. The Monday mornings I've gotten up at 5 a.m. to go to yoga at 6, haven't regretted a single one yet. Maybe I will in the future. I don't think so. But none of them I really wanted to just hop out of bed. But like I never regretted them. You know what I mean? I think live stream is like that too. Yeah, you're so welcome. Okay guys, I'm gonna hop off. But like I said, if you need anything, just send me a message, comment, reach out. Like I'm so excited for this next, like I feel like I'm going into a new chapter right now, and I feel like that's just being so loving and so open and so helpful and so supportive. So just so you know, that's what I'm working on over here. That's my goal. Also to blow your guys' mind for Black Friday and for all the things in the future. So prepare yourself. But yeah, sending you guys a lot of love. Talk to you later. Bye.